Just imagine this. Let's say you're a brand owner and then you have a huge team, right? If your team is not following a common structure for naming your campaigns, then it is going to be difficult for the other team members, isn't it? That is exactly where you need to have a common process or a standard process for naming all your campaigns. In this video, we are going to cover this topic at length. At the outset, we have three different sections in here. One is the process for brand new campaigns. The second one is more to do with harvesting. Harvesting is nothing but when you see a couple of campaigns. For example, let's say you have a few broad match campaigns, and in those broad match campaigns you see a couple of search terms are doing well, and then you want to harvest those search terms from those broad match campaign. Basically, you need to make changes to the source campaign, and also you need to name the harvested keyword campaign in such a way that you are able to recognize, right? So this is exactly what we are going to cover. Let's look into the brand new campaign section. So this is the format that we would generally recommend if you're trying to create a brand new campaign. So the format looks like this. Initially, you will have a date followed by SKW. SKW signifies single keyword campaign. In case if you are using multi keywords, then you can specify MKW, and then you have a product identifier, and then you're going to mention the ad type, and then the match type, and then the keyword, and then the volume indicator, and also mention that it is a new campaign, right? You need to know it is a new campaign. Now every time you should not go to your campaign, you should not get to an ad group level or go to history and then check what has happened, right? Going through your campaign title name, going through your campaign name, you should get a summary of what has happened last time. Being said that, so here is an example. In case if I am starting a campaign on 1st of June, I will mention 1/6/2024, which signifies the date, and then I will say it's a single keyword campaign, and then my product identifier is garlic press, for example, and then I'll say it's sponsored products exact match campaign, and then I have my keyword which is blue color garlic press, and then I also have a volume indicator. Volume indicator, as in generally we classify keyword search volumes into 3 or 4 categories. One is low volume, medium volume, high volume, and extremely high volume, right? It's very important for us to have this volume indicator because high volume keywords are the ones which are going to move the needle once you rank up the products, right? I mean, if you're going after keywords where the search volumes are low, even if you rank up your product on that particular search term, it may not give you a good number of sales. So that is why we want to have this volume indicator in here. And then I will also mention that it is a new campaign. And then let's say after creating campaign, after a few days, you want to optimize the campaign. And when you optimize this campaign, certain elements in the campaign structure will change. And that is exactly what we are going to cover next. Now let's say you are going to optimize. This is the first time you are optimizing. When I say optimizing, when I speak about optimization, you should be knowing your threshold number of clicks. Once you achieve those threshold number of clicks basis your listing conversion or PPC conversion or your category median conversion, which is available in the brand metrics section. Now basis those data points, you're going to calculate your threshold once you meet that threshold number of clicks. So this is exactly how you're going to process. First, you're going to have your date followed by the change that you're going to make, right? If you see here, I've said TOS plus, ROAS plus, PP minus. What does it mean? It means that I have increased my top of search placement multiplier. I have increased my rest of search placement multiplier, and I have reduced my product pages multiplier, right? So I'm able to see what I've done in my last optimization, right? And then you have single keyword campaign, and then you're going to mention your product identifier followed by ad type, match type, and then the keyword, and then the volume indicator, and then the date. And once again, you're going to specify this as new, right? So this new thing you're not going to change right now. Maybe in the second or third optimization you'll remove it, because in the initial few days you still want to have that tag so that you're able to recognize, because new campaigns generally need more attention, at least until the time you receive the expected level of impressions, clicks, impression share, and all that. So here is an example. Once again, date followed by TOS plus, ROS plus, PP minus, and then single keyword campaign. Garlic press is my product identifier, sponsor products, exact match, and then blue color garlic press, which is our keyword, and then high volume, and then date followed by a new, followed by new. here is the thing. Now let's assume after a couple of days you want to optimize this campaign again. Now when you do that, this is exactly how the structure is going to change. This time you're going to have the date and the action that you have taken, and then you have single keyword campaign, product identifier, ad type, match type, keyword, and then volume indicator. To make it simple, let us also take an example. So if I am optimizing this particular campaign for the second time, this is exactly how I'm going to name my campaign. Date followed by BB plus, which means I have increased my base bid, and then I will say single keyword campaign. I'll say garlic press, which is our product identifier, and then sponsor products exact, and then the keyword followed by high volume. If you notice here, now I have removed this tag new because this campaign has moved to the mainstream now. This is no longer a new campaign. I need not pay more attention towards it because I see this campaign has taken off well. So I can just treat this as so I can just treat this campaign like any other campaign. All right, so with that we will move on to the next section. So let's also look into this. So let's assume you have a broad match campaign, and then you have been doing well, and then suddenly at some point you also want to look into your search terms and understand the search terms which are doing well, and then you want to harvest them, right? When you harvest, or when you want your team to harvest certain search terms from your important discovery campaigns. Now when I say discovery, I'm referring to your broad match campaigns or phrase match campaigns or your auto campaigns, right? So this is exactly how we are going to mention. So you're going to have your date, and then you have and then you're going to mention the action that you have taken, and then you're going to indicate to your team that this particular campaign needs a breakout. Because it's a broad match campaign, you have several search terms where you got couple of sales at a good conversion ratios. Now you want to harvest them and then take more control through a single keyword exact match campaign. So you're going to indicate to your team that this campaign needs a breakout. And then MKW, which signifies multi-keyword campaign. Maybe this particular campaign has multiple keywords, and then product identifier, and then ad type, match type, keyword, and then volume indicator. Let us also take an example. So here is how I'm going to indicate to my team. Date, and then top of search plus or rest of search minus. So this was the action that I've taken, and then I'll also indicate that this campaign needs a breakout, and then I'll say multi-keyword campaign, and then garlic press is my product identifier, and then sponsor products, broad match campaign, and then the keyword, and then the high volume indicator. So this is exactly how I'm going to indicate to my team. Let's say one of our team members have come, he has seen the notification and he started to restructure as in now the team member has removed the good performing search term from your discovery campaign, and he has initiated a new campaign, right? Now when he has done that, he should also inform you that the change has been done, as in the restructuring process has been completed. So he is going to change the campaign name in such a way that you recognize that the restructuring process is completed. Here is how it looks like. So date followed by restructured, and then single keyword campaign, and then product identifier, ad type, match type, keyword, volume indicator, date, and then you are also going to mention MKW to SKW followed by date. What does it mean? It means that you restructured this campaign. Earlier it was a multi-keyword campaign. Now it became a single keyword campaign. On this particular day, a restructuring has been done. Now, if you have noticed, in most of my campaign titles, I had my date at the beginning, and there is a reason for that. If you put your campaign date towards the end, you will not be able to see when you open Seller Central Ad Console. You will have to open each and every campaign, or you will have to extend the bar in order to view the entire title length, right? So we don't want to get into all that. So you want the date to be at the beginning. When you open Amazon Ad Console, you're able to see when were these campaigns last optimized. With that context, let me get back to the restructured campaign example. Here is my date, and then I'll say it has been restructured. Now it is a single keyword campaign. My product type is garlic press. I will say it's a sponsor product broad match campaign, and I'm targeting a keyword blue color garlic press, and then I will say it's a high volume keyword, and then I have restructured this campaign from a multi-keyword campaign to a single keyword campaign on this particular day. I hope it is clear so far. Let's say if we want to optimize this campaign after a couple of days. In that case, this is exactly how I'm going to indicate it. Now I will have my date, and then I will also mention the action that I've taken, single keyword campaign, product identifier, ad type, match type, keyword, volume indicator, date, and also mention that you have restructured, right? MKW to SKW, followed by the date on which you restructured. To give an example, for the source campaign, after the first optimization, this is exactly how my campaign title is going to look like. So I'll have my date and then the action, maybe I've reduced my base bid, and then I'll say single keyword campaign. I'll say this is my product identifier, garlic press, and then I'll mention sponsor product exact, followed by the keyword that I'm targeting, and then the volume indicator, and I'll also mention MKW to SKW on so and so date. Now, maybe after one or two or three iterations, you may remove that MKW to SKW tag because your campaign has moved into the mainstream. One of the reasons why you want these tags for at least one or two iterations is because sometimes your keywords would have performed really well in old campaigns, and the moment you restructure and transitioned a search term from old campaign to new campaign, it may not pick up well, right? I'm sure you would have come across a number of situations like this, and we want to track it in that manner so that you are able to compare and understand what is the impact in terms of sales, how were you performing earlier, and how are you performing after the restructuring activity. Being said that, that is not the end to the story, because when you restructured, you made changes to the source campaign or the parent campaign. Now post restructuring, you have created dedicated campaigns for those high performing, high converting search terms, right? Now for those campaigns, this is exactly how you're going to name the titles. Now the format looks like this: date, and then you will say harvest. HVST signifies that this keyword has been harvested, and then it is going to be a single keyword campaign. You will have your product identifier, ad type, match type, keyword, volume indicator, harvest out, and then date. Now if I take an example, so I'll say date underscore HVST underscore single keyword campaign, garlic press, sponsor product exact, and then the keyword that I am targeting, and then I'll say it's a high volume keyword, and I will also say it was harvested out on so and so date, because I should know that this keyword has come from a restructuring activity, right? Now let's say after a couple of days we want to harvest the campaign. If that is so, the campaign name should look like this. So you will have your date and then the action that you have taken, and then single keyword campaign, product identifier, ad type, match type, keyword, volume indicator, and then you are also going to mention that it was harvested out on so and so date. Now if I take an example, you will have your date, and then I'll say base bid minus, as in I have reduced my base bid. I'll say single keyword campaign, garlic press, sponsor product exact, and then I'll say blue color garlic press, and then I'll say it's a high volume keyword, and this campaign has been harvested out on so and so date, right? Now let's say if you want to optimize this campaign after a couple of more days, so this is going to be your second optimization. At this point in time, assuming your campaign has been doing well with a lot of data, a lot of sales at an ACOS which is in control with good healthy conversions, then this is exactly how your campaign title should look like. So you'll have your date, and then your top of search place is your action, and then you'll have your single keyword campaign, product identifier, ad type, match type, keyword, and then volume indicator. If I take an example, this is exactly how I want my campaign to be named. Date, and then underscore top of search place. Maybe for this campaign I've increased the top of search bid adjustment, and I'll say a single keyword campaign, and then I'll mention my product indicator, garlic press, and then I'll say sponsor product exact, blue color garlic press, and then I'll say high volume keyword. At this point in time, I've removed that HVST out and then date, right? Because this campaign is no longer new. It has gained some history, and then this campaign has been doing well, which means this campaign has transitioned to the mainstream, right? I hope you learned something new today, and please do apply these rules in your business, and then I'm sure you'll be in a better position to manage your ad and then do really well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day and take care.